Alright, we're back with version 0.8 build 94 of Overload. This came out a couple of days ago, but I was abroad on vacation for all of last week. But yeah, let's take a look here, see what's changed. There's a lot promised in the patch notes, including a new challenge mode level and a pretty significant bot rebalance. So yeah, let's get started. All right, guys, what's happening? I fucked up and I hit my record key and it didn't record. So I guess OBS fucked up. I always have this issue with some game or another where I'm like, let me record this hour of footage, and then it just fucking never does. But anyway, this is gonna be, I guess technically second impression since I flew a match earlier. But I guess that allows me some time to sort of marshal my thoughts a little more effectively. So really, the only change in the menus, as I recall, is the ambient sound volume got added. Be sure to tweak that if things sound strange. What else? All of your previous single-player saves were invalidated, I think. I don't know. I'm not playing the single-player just yet. I'm waiting for the full release just because I want to have like a full campaign to like play through, and it's going to be really exciting because I haven't played a full new Descent campaign in 15 years. So there's that. Trying to think what else. That's about it. I died a bunch to Reavers. The changes were good, but I had 13 Reavers, and I took 400 damage from them. Or not 13, it was like 30-some Reavers. Yeah. And then the next closest was like 200 damage from some pile of robots. Anyway, the changes are good. Still work to be done. There we go. So I'm gonna do another run on Backfire Hotshot now that I just did one. I'll make it quick. One of the big changes is you can see my previous loadout here. This is what I flew the last game with. It'll save between matches per variant. So if you do an infinite run and do Driller, Impulse Crusher, Missile Pod, Hunter, when you come back and do another infinite run in the same instance of the game, it'll save this set of things. And then same with Countdown. If you do, you know, Flak only, and then Missile Pod, Hunter, Creeper, Devastator, which is my loadout, that'll save between runs. There's a huge time saver. I would love to see a couple of presets that you can just like flip to automatically when you load the game in, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just like click on them and it just loads them instantly. But that's not a huge deal. Just being able to save it within the session is good enough. Good enough for me. Oh, excuse me. There's also a randomize button, which does everything that you would expect it to. Hooray! Let's see. Man, I am so salty about losing all that footage. So Backfire is a large industrial area with large pillars for cover. Wait, it's okay. So a large industrial area with large pillars for cover tops a natural section selection in this mostly open 2-level map. Beware of hidden enemies. I was told there would be phantoms. I didn't have them in my last game, which I guess, hooray, I didn't even record that one. Anyway, let's jump into it. There's new text that says initializing and then level. What else? I feel like the flight model might have slightly changed a little bit. It feels a little floatier. I think it's just me now that I'm getting a little more practice with it, but maybe it isn't. Turning feels a little more difficult for some reason. I gotta course correct a little bit more. I mentioned this to no one because I didn't record it, but I say this just about every time a new challenge mode map comes out, but I think it's particularly true with this one and with Pipeline and with Foundry, that this is the most Descent feeling out of all of the challenge mode maps. It has the very angular look to it. It's got you know, the computer tower colored textures. The lighting is very Descent. It's got these things. The the under construction thing. Oh, jeez. What else? Underneath is the natural selection area. It's just rocks and lava and that kind of thing. It's very tight, kind of reminiscent of Labyrinth. And then through here, these tunnels are a little more Hive-esque. It's not really a callback, but a call sideways to the arches underneath, whatever it is, underneath Hive. What else? The balance is pretty good. Things are punishing, but in just the right ways. Reavers, as I mentioned, are still giving me trouble, but I had a lot of them last game. So I figure with smaller counts, it's just fine. And the Ogres, to me at least, I didn't have trouble with them until the last patch cycle, and now I'm not having trouble with them yet again. So I'll leave it to the experts in having trouble with Ogres to determine if they're still bad. I am the having trouble with Reavers expert, I feel like. Actually, no, I'm the having trouble with Guardians one. I take that back. I cannot put those together. That's the first time I've been hit by a golem, whatever. That had no physics throw. I just barreled right through it. It was all right. I'm not gonna say it was bad, a bad change. It's a bit of a surprising one, given that they're pretty powerful flying objects. What else? We're already at 40 kills, if you can believe it. This is a very small map, and I feel like the spawn times are way shorter than some of the other ones. Like, we're in the mix here. This is gonna be a monster on Countdown. Not really exceedingly difficult, but it's gonna give you a run for your money, especially if you have a very aggressive playstyle, kind of like I do. I'm not running away from robots. I'm not, diving behind pillars all that often. Like, I am going to spend a majority of my time in this map on this upper level here. Just because it's very open and it allows you to get some pretty solid sight lines on the lower portion of the map, or at least the access to it. Titans, while I'm looking at one, too. Those have been changed to be called Tritons. I'm not totally sure why. I'm sure I can look up why that is. But I'm going to continue calling them Titans until probably forever. And nobody can stop me. Those have been changed for the better in that they're a bit more reflective. Their albedo appears to have changed, which is I want to say it's a meteorological term, or not meteorological. It's a remote sensing term, which means reflectiveness of the surface. It is much higher now. They were a little bit difficult to see in darker areas, and now I feel like I can see them from across the map. They definitely look a little more Descent-esque. They match this map really well. Like, if you told me that one of these robots came out with this map, like, at the same time as this map did, I would immediately guess it was the Titan, just based on how it looks. No real complaints about their balance. So that's good. Super Hydras, that's the first time I've been in lengthy combat with one. That dodge code has been tweaked to definitely at least the ballpark, if not a pretty solid spot. It was a difficult lead with the impulse, but you can catch them eventually, and if you're working with missiles, it's going to be a fast enough kill that it feels pretty fair. What else? Still have not seen a Phantom. Maybe they're elsewhere, but they're definitely not here. What else? I noticed last game that I didn't record, that I'm going to keep saying I didn't record, that missiles... Ah, jeez. Missiles appear to have had their hitboxes, view models, and flight times change. maybe not so much the hunter. I feel like the hunter was tweaked to be slightly larger, but I'll see if I can't get myself a, well, I don't have a regular, here we go. Get some falcons here. They do look a little bit bigger, and the sound is, I don't want to say deep-throated, but it's definitely a lot lower. It's not as snappy, I guess is what I'm after. Let me, yeah, it just doesn't, it feels a little more muted. Oh boy, here we go. Trying to think of what else here. Super Wyverns are a bit of a challenge. Not terrible, but still a little bit too difficult to lead with. Of course, I am using the impulse, which is like really slow. What else? There are also robot variants. I'm not sure if I've seen them yet. It'd be cool if they were like, I don't want to say highlighted, but like identified in the kill feed as like Gorgon X, or you know, like a Ogre R or Harpy L, whatever the identification is internally, like whatever determines that they're different than the other robots of the same type. It would be cool to learn how, like, what those variants are just by seeing it in the kill feed, because sometimes it just goes by a little bit too fast. I think one of it is that a Gorgon has green eyes or something. Maybe I was just seeing things a few seconds ago. What else? As I've said in past impressions, I don't listen to the in-game music all that often, but it's pretty good. I don't know if this track is new. I don't think it is, but if it is, it's good, and if it's not, well, it's still good. Yeah, the Reavers keep wiping me out a bit. Let me try the Cyclone here. I'm not sure if it was buffed or not. I was about to say I'm not sure if it was buffed or not after killing that guy, and then I realized that I had literally just said that. But it's difficult to tell because I work with it and miss it so much. I think it was very slightly, but I've said that in patches past, and it's always it's been just as crappy for a couple of patches now. Ow. Yeah, I don't think it's changed. Performance, at least for Novas, has not been addressed, and I believe there was mention of it getting addressed in a future patch beyond this one. So I'm not concerned about it. I'm running things basically at minimum settings just so I can record 1080p at as close to 60 as I can get it. But I'm fine with it as it stands now. Optimization is typically one of the last things you do in a game anyway, so I'm not totally concerned. What else? There was a notice on the leaderboards. I naturally didn't record it though. That the leaderboards were reset on the 21st, which, you know, I saw as part of the patch notes and had been sort of expecting for a while. Yeah, all of the scores are gone, so you got to go back and reset them all. I'm going to be doing that a little bit more, probably after this session on Twitch. So by the time this finishes uploading, you'll probably have missed it. But I'm going to try and be doing that a little bit more often, as I say, every patch. but I'm going to be trying to do it more often, especially as the semester winds up, or winds down, or winds in a direction. But I'm hoping in the next week or two to have a score set on every level, every variant. Just because Countdown you can do pretty quickly. And Infinite, I mean, I'm at a point now where, like, I don't want to say I've peaked skill-wise, because I hope I haven't. But, like, I know what it takes to set a good score, and, like, I can be satisfied with stuff. Damn, a lot of Reavers. A lot of Reavers. They still take the same amount of damage, but they don't dish as much in return, which is helpful. Of course, as soon as I say that, I get cornered by like 5 of them. Let's see here. Yeah, pressure AF. Stick with Impulse, I think. Nice. Oh yeah, there was a bug with the whatchamacallits, the Reavers anyway. They were supposed to drop stuff when you killed them, but they never did. Which is like totally unfair. So that's probably a pretty significant balance change, just that alone. It'd be great if they guaranteed a shield drop similar to Super Titans do, but I'll take what I can get. Something is better than nothing. I saw on the leaderboards there's already a score of 500 entered for this on the rookie variant, which seems, I don't want to say pretty doable, but I think it's definitely in reach. Obviously somebody's already got it. I'm only doing hotshot as I do for all of my first impressions. Shit, this is the end. Yep, that's it. Yeah, those Reavers are still pretty tough. They're still difficult. 243 is good though. It's an improvement of 60 on my last one, so you can see why I do first impressions, because this probably took a lot longer. But yeah, this is a pretty good breakdown. 22 Reavers for 339 damage though, and the next is Goblins with 192. Somehow, oh yeah, that was probably Super Goblins. Yeah, 14 of the 17, unless these are separate. Oh, these aren't separate, but these are. So I would assume a majority of the Goblin damage is from the supers. But yeah, there you have it. These fall apart really quickly, which past builds have had an issue with, but I think that's just because of how many Reavers spawn. Like if you catch a bad set of spawns and there's like a ton of them all at once, then you're pretty much finished. And then there's all these. Great. Yeah, and the map, I'm missing the scatter map. Still, I thought it was a neat little addition, but who knows? Maybe it'll come back. And then we're at number 3, almost number 2. So that was a good start. I'm gonna switch over to, let's see here. Challenge mode menu. We have 2 full pages now. That's exciting. Yeah, I guess I'll do... Nah, I'll do Syrinx. Yeah, Syrinx Countdown Hotshot. Let's see if anyone's what's the number to beat here? Alright, 100, I guess. 100's doable. Let's see. Solid. Alright. This is a quick 5-minute thing. I min-maxed the hell out of Rookie earlier. In past build. Oh, jeez, look at this. We're like into it already. Look at this. This, I actually requested this literally like a few days before before the patch launch. Like, hey, can we get, you know, 5 or 10 seconds to, you know, marshal our thoughts or speed up the spawning? And the spawning was sped up, so I'm not going to take full credit for that because that was probably in the works well before I came up with the idea. But, you know, it's nice. It's good. It's good. It's very good. There are a lot of ogres here. Nothing? Come on. Guardians, jeez. Yeah, maybe it's everywhere. I think the lighting might have been changed. I have the patch notes next to me, but I'm not looking at it. Yeah, it seems like the lighting is a little bit flatter, a little bit more Descent-esque. Which, you know, all the fan service. There you go. Where is it? Nope. I'm dry on secondaries. Yeah, the Guardians, they're still annoying. Ah! Yeah, I'm taking too much heat there. God. Shredders seem faster, but the bounce has been corrected. Which is great. That's cool. Because the bounce was, it had made a resurgence. There we go. Oh god. Oh god. Ugh. Crawling along here. Yeah, it's getting down to the end. No, fuck. Shredders might be too fast, cause you really gotta you gotta be able to hear it, you know. That's 50 off of my record. I think that's more than likely because that was just like a bad spawn roll. It was very heavy robots. I did a lot of running away, using way too many secondaries. Yada yada yada. Hydra's still doing a lot of damage here. 10 and 175. Guardians similarly, it's problematic as always. Let me take a look here. Yeah, this was really intense. That was a very, very difficult final couple of seconds there. I'm annoyed that I... Ooh, excuse me. Annoyed that I died. Yeah, that happens. I'm stoked to, like, go back on the leaderboards and, like, put out more scores. So, yeah. That's about it. I don't really have anything else while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that's about it. Let me look at the patch notes here just to make sure. That's about it. Also, oh yeah, there's a challenge mode stats export. I'll take a look at that. Not here, but yeah, that's a pretty cool addition. What else? Game balancing. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, pretty substantial changes. The leaderboard stuff is probably chief among them. Notwithstanding the balance, obviously, that's pretty huge. Backfire is a pretty fun map. Gonna be. I don't want to say that's like my favorite map, but it's. I'm definitely gonna be putting a lot of time in on that one compared to some of the others, like I don't know, Hive, Labyrinth. Although the Labyrinth has grown on me over the past months. Once you put up a good countdown score, it's really addicting. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. This has been another entry in the First Impression series on Overload. We're getting close to release, I think. My understanding is that the balance pass wouldn't be done until after most or all of the campaign was completed on the development side. So while we only have a handful of missions, there's plenty more in the pipeline coming down. A lot of content getting ready to go. Obviously some work in the editor is being put together because one of the demo levels is being used as a test case for add-on content for the single player that people can make with the level editor, and there's an entry on the leaderboards for like a test add-on level. It's not here. Here's a combined one though. That's a new addition. It'll just take all of your countdown and infinite scores and sum them together, which is pretty interesting. I can't wait to see how high it can get, like into the thousands already. That's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. Always a great time seeing how awesome these patches are. As always, never a bad one, and looking forward to release. So yeah, hope you had a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate that, and if you do the Christmas or the Festivus or the Chris Kwanzaa thing. Chris Kwanzaa, there you go. yeah, happy those. Happy holidays, New Year, blah, 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 blah. Yep, all right, cool. So, keep an eye out for more videos on this channel with more records, maybe, if I do a particularly good one. Twitch, I'm going to be probably putting a lot of stuff on there for Overload, as I always promise to do and then don't. And maybe someday I'll learn how to end videos in a timely fashion. I've been winding this down for a solid 5 minutes now. But yeah, keep an eye out. Thanks for stopping / tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.